Welcome to College Smart Radio, helping you bring into focus the true cost of college and how to tackle the runaway cost of financing a college education. College Smart Radio is hosted by Beatrice Schultz, a certified financial planner and founder of Westface College Planning. Now, here's your host for College Smart Radio, Beatrice Schultz.
Most teens do not have a clear-cut direction for their future. They're not sure if they want to go to community college, a four-year college, technical school, learn a trade, or just head straight to the job force after graduating from high school. And even if they think they know, they're not sure how to go about it. As a parent, you don't want to push your child in a direction that's not the right fit for him or her, and you certainly do not want to spend tens of thousands or even hundreds of thousands of dollars on a college if it's not the right choice for your child. But where can you turn to help your student make the right choices? On today's College Smart Radio show, we're going to discuss where your kids can go today to find the resources for making educated, thoughtful choices in education and career direction. I'm Beatrice Schultz. Welcome to our weekly show, College Smart Radio, where we help you tackle the runaway costs of a college education. Our show is all about bringing up-to-date and practical advice to parents of college-bound kids. College is expensive and getting more so every year. Parents need more help than ever. We bring you that help by sharing ways to pay less, tapping into financial aid, and prioritizing your source of funds to make sure you get through the most expensive years of your life. Based on my own education and experience, I share my insights with you week in and week out. I hold a Bachelor of Science degree in Chemical Engineering and a Master's degree in International Business. I am a certified financial planner and the owner of the San Carlos-based college planning business, Westface College Planning. I host workshops on college planning and consult with parents on a daily basis. In addition to my insights, I bring in experts in many areas of the college process, from counselors, financial aid professors, professionals, financial aid officers, student coaches, parents, and even students. You'll learn firsthand the ins and outs of how to pay for college and survive financially. In addition to our show, you can also find lots of powerful information at our website, www.collegesmartradio.com. We have many articles that I've authored with up-to-date information on navigating the waters of paying for the runaway cost of college. We have a monthly e-newsletter full of content about college planning. We also have posted a glossary of key terms used in the world of college planning. Terms like total cost of attendance, FAFSA, student assets, base year, and so forth. And we have a link to our free community parent workshops and webinars that I host to teach parents about how to pay for college and how the financial aid system really works. So let's get into today's show. On previous shows, we've talked about the importance of focusing on career choice before choosing a major and only choosing a college or selection of colleges after your student has a clear path for his or her career choice. Many kids do this backwards and end up in a college that's not a good fit for any assortment of reasons. Maybe they don't like the actual college, sometimes they don't like the courses they're taking. Often they worry that the college courses are not leading to a career that will really interest them, and sometimes they really don't want to be at college at all. In all of these cases, it can take a toll both emotionally and financially to figure out the right choices and change the course of the life path. It's never too late to change directions, even as an adult, we know. But wouldn't it be great to introduce your kids to resources that they can use today to help guide them? Joining me in the studio today is Kathy Laidlaw. Kathy is a parent of a recent high school graduate herself. In 2006, she started volunteer teaching career prep and interview skills in a local high school at the invitation of the health teacher. Her passion for that program led her to found GiveTeens20, which is a nonprofit charity working to provide resources to young adults for making educated, thoughtful choices in school and career direction by providing tools for self-assessment, resource links, and interviews that will familiarize you with the requirements, skill sets, and education needed for all job titles. Hi, Kathy. Welcome to College Smart Radio.
Thank you for the invitation.
So let's start by sharing with us a program that you were doing at the local high school. What was that about?
The health teacher and I met chaperoning the Hello Dance when my son was a freshman. She asked what I did. I told her. She asked if I would come in and teach her seniors who were either going out into the workforce or going to college, as far as just giving them some direction, giving them some focus and some resources. So I started doing that. And we developed the curriculum over the last 6 years to have it be what it is today. And what it is today, there are three different components of the high school presentation. The first part is I ask them to please give themselves a lot of different options, and how they give themselves options are education. They need some level of post-secondary education. It is very difficult for high school students to go out into the workforce right after high school and have any level of success going forward.
And is that do most students agree that I mean, they kind of are, do they buy into that they need some education post-high school? Okay. Her passion for that program led her to found
all of them
GiveTeens20, which is a nonprofit charity working to provide resources to young adults for making educated, thoughtful choices. Continue on. I was just trying to think about when you said that, providing tools for self-assessment, resource links, and interviews that will familiarize you with the requirements, skill sets, and education needed for all job titles. Continuing to go to school. Hi, Kathy. Welcome to College Smart Radio.
Thank you for the invitation. One of the things that I noticed with my son, who graduated in 2011,
at the local high school. What was that about?
The health teacher and I met chaperoning the Hello Dance when my son was a freshman. The high school students, she asked what I did. I told her. 100% driven, motivated, and focused on a direction. They're the majority who are either going out into the workforce or going to college, as far as just giving them some, and they don't really have a direction, giving them some focus and definition of what they want for their futures. So I started doing that, successful, and we then developed the curriculum over the last 6 years to have it be what it is today. My son was a very good football player in high school. He had 4 Division I colleges of the high school presentation. Interested in him. The first part is I asked them to please give themselves a lot of different options. This was and how they give themselves options situation for my husband and for me, some level of we both know the value of post-secondary education. It is very difficult for high school students to go out into the workforce right after high school and have any level of success going forward. A trade school.
And is that what do most students
18 years old, he was living the life of a 40-year-old man. He was up at 6:30 in the morning, going to work, going to school from 1 until 5, but not all of them to work. He had no time to work out. He had no time for friends. It was really depressing to watch. The thing about my son,
I'm sorry, I'll let you continue on. I was just trying to think about when you said that.
I had paid attention to his dreams and desires for his own life, I would have recognized that since the age of 3 years old, he wanted to go and be in the military. That was his core. One of the things that I noticed with my son, and I did everything within my power to talk him out of it, to dissuade him from that direction. Nervous about graduating. Some of them are. Some of the high school students are 100% driven, motivated, and focused on a direction. They're the majority of the population of high school students are either going to college and they don't really have a clear-cut direction or definition of what they want for their futures other than to be successful. So that's really what matters. There are kids who are very intimidated by the whole prospect. My son being one of them. My son was a very good football player in high school. He had 4 Division I colleges interested in him for football, but my son did not want to go to college. On the website. This was a heartbreaking situation for my husband and for me because we both know the value of post-secondary education.
So what kind of questions are on
my son had liked auto shop in high school, so ended up going to a trade
does it actually spit out an answer that says, hey, here are
18 years old, he was living the life of a 40-year-old man. He was up at 6:30 in the morning, going to work, going to school from 1 until 5, and then going back to work. He had no time to work out. He had no time for friends. It was really depressing to watch. The thing about my son
that you might want to pursue,
is that if I had paid attention to his dreams and desires for his own life, I would have recognized that since the age of 3 years old, he wanted to go and be in the military. That was his core of who he was. And I did everything within my power to talk him out of it, to dissuade him from that direction.
But he thought
I have one child. Obviously, I'm being selfish.
His dad does I sort of like him and want him around for the long term. So I said, no military.
My son was miserable, capable.
The minute that he enlisted,
job, it was as
he
though
now
he
has the confidence to go forward
and
with
he's very, very happy
into that
Mom
direction.
Is still not necessarily
100% happy,
but my son
and
is.
And this self-assessment is available on your GiveTeens20
website.
Is that
yes, it is on the Getting
is really
Started
the most
go ahead and click on the link of what GiveTeens20 does.
Give yourself 20 minutes.
Start with self-assessment by taking an online assessment test.
More
about
the 20 minutes.
You took the kids through on the website, and with the results of that test, you can take a look at some different career areas that might interest you. I ask them once again to give themselves a lot of options.
I
tell them what gives them them options,
career
what takes away
assessment?
options.
I mean, what kind of questions are they asking? I mean, does it actually spit out an answer that says, "Hey, here are your careers that might be a fit for you"? Is that what it is, or it just asks you questions so you explore in your own
project,
mind?
Or do I go hang out with the other guys? It asks you questions, and based upon your answers, it will give some criteria at the end of the test. Saying, let's go do this, areas that interest you, or do I make a wiser choice that you might want to pursue? And there are some areas that possibly not going to get me in trouble where the other ones will than our others. So I really want them to be mindful that every decision that they make throughout the day affects their 20 minutes. And at the end of the test, he was so encouraged because he had always thought that he wanted to work at some level of computer engineering, but he thought perhaps that the only reason for that was because his dad does that.
What they're posting there.
What the test pointed out to him
the people,
was that he
advisors, even private scholarships, people who are offering private scholarships, they don't want to be embarrassed by offering a private scholarship that's recognized nationally by somebody who has some public information out there that may be embarrassing to them.
And
so
this self-assessment is available on your GiveTeens20 website.
That nicely, or I'm wearing, I have a tattoo, and maybe someone.
Go ahead and click
on
the link for
might be offended by it, then it's okay to cover it up when you go into that interview to show respect.
Results.
Okay, well, tell me a little bit about, if you do a little more about the process that you took the kids through in high school.
And every single hiring company working on self-assessment, anything, I ask them once again to give themselves a lot of options. They will find what gives them options, what takes away options. They will find your LinkedIn page. Another one of the things that I encourage students to do is to all have a LinkedIn page.
Kathy, I'm going to take a break right now. Sorry, we're just need a quick break now, but I want to come back and hear talk a little bit about LinkedIn. You're with us on College Smart Radio on 1220 KDOW. My guest today is Kathy Laidlaw, the founder of GiveTeens20. We'll be right back with Kathy on College Smart Radio.
And do something different that's possibly not going to get me in trouble where the other ones will. So I really want them to be mindful that every decision that they make throughout the day affects their future.
I think it's very powerful, and I even talk to my students, my college planning students, that about the whole idea of what they look like on Facebook, what they're posting there, because the people, the admissions advisors, even private scholarships, people who are offering private scholarships, they don't want to be embarrassed by offering a private scholarship that's recognized nationally by somebody who has some public information out there that may be embarrassing to them. So it is people say, oh, well, what difference does it make if I'm not dressed that nicely, or I have a tattoo, and maybe but if the person you're interviewing with might be offended by it, then it's okay to cover it up when you go into that interview to show respect. If you do a little research about who that hiring person is and what they may think.
And every single hiring company, scholarship offering, anything, any school, they are all going to Google you. They will find your Facebook page. They will find your LinkedIn page. Another one of the things that I encourage students to do is to all have a LinkedIn
Kathy,
page.
I'm going to take a break right now. Sorry, we just need a quick break now, but I want to come back and talk a little bit about LinkedIn. You're with us on College Smart Radio on 1220 KDOW. My guest today is Kathy Laidlaw, the founder of GiveTeens20. We'll be right back with Kathy on College Smart Radio.
For more information on today's topic, visit collegesmartradio.com or call area code 650-587-1559. College Smart Radio continues in moments on AM 1220 KDOW. Contact Beatrice Schultz at collegesmartradio.com or call area code 650-587-1559. Now, back to College Smart Radio with your host Beatrice Schultz on AM 1220 KDOW.
I'm talking with my guest Kathy Laidlaw, the founder of GiveTeens20, an organization that provides resources to help guide young adults in school and career direction. Kathy, we were just talking a little bit about social media, the impacts, and you were just going to talk a little bit about LinkedIn before I cut you off. I'll let you continue.
Thank you, Beatrice. Actually, one of the assignments that I give to students in the presentation that I do in local or any high school for that matter is to create a LinkedIn page for themselves. It's one of the things that I bring up that high school students are completely unaware of, is that 5 years after they graduate from high school, they will be attending a 5-year high school reunion. And when they find out that one of their classmates works at Apple, and this is a company that they've been trying to get into for the past year to get a job there, all of a sudden at the 5-year reunion, they're hitting up their classmate and saying, hey, help me out to get into Apple. If these students all have LinkedIn pages and they are connecting with their high school friends during high school, they will know when that person goes with Apple. So it will not be this awkward time of using what should be a really fun social time to do your business networking. Do your business networking on LinkedIn. It is a really wonderful asset and resource for any person going into the work world.
I agree, LinkedIn, and it's a good way for high school students. I encourage it for college students, and I don't even think of it so much for high school, but of course it makes sense because it also teaches them to show what should their business front look like. What is their resume? What does it look like on LinkedIn? And with college kids, I always say, and for high school also, make yourself at least 5 or 10 people a year. Just link in and connect with someone who's a connection of someone else that maybe has a career that you're interested in, is a friend of your dad's, is a friend of your mom's. All these adults love the idea of having a young adult who's interested in what they're doing, and they build up their network. So LinkedIn is pretty awesome. Share with me a little bit more about your website and the other resources or the other ways that you'd like people to be able to use the GiveTeens20 website. Actually, I think maybe we should start by giving me a quick, how'd you come up with the name?
Well, GiveTeens20, during the high school presentation, I asked the students to first do the self-assessment, narrow down their fields of interest, and then to do some research on those fields of interest. I asked them to interview an individual who is successfully operating within that job. And when you ask someone for an interview, if you say, may I sit down with you for an hour? Most likely they'll say no. But if you say, will you give me 20 minutes? I'd love to find out how you got into the position that you are in. They will normally give that to you. So that is why the organization is called GiveTeens20. I'm asking for 20 minutes from people to do an interview, to tell teens what made them choose this career path, how they got there, what is their education and experience, and what is the best piece of advice they would give a teen or young adult.
Oh, I love the name, and I love the 20. That's great. Okay, and now I will remember it also, and all our listeners will. So tell us a little bit more about the website and what's available on it.
Well, on the Getting Started link, there are 3 different steps. The first step is self-assessment. The second step is research. And by research, there are many, many websites out there that are linked to on the GiveTeens20 website. In particular, one is called ONET Online, where you can research any job. If you go on, you click on the link on our website and you go onto their homepage, you type in any position title, radio engineer, broadcast engineer, and you will pull up the occupational outlook as far as how many jobs will be coming, the salary, what requirements there are as far as education, as far as personality traits, as far as organizational skills. It is all there on ONET Online. It's such a fabulous resource. There are other resources as well that we link to. Additionally, we film interviews with people who are operating successfully within jobs so that teens can watch these 3-minute interviews and get a sense of, gee, I think that this is something I'd like to do. And this came about because when I would encourage high school students to ask an adult to give them 20 minutes to see how they got into that position, these students would say, well, Mrs. Laidlaw, I do not know a cardiologist. I do not know a molecular biologist. I do not know a sportscaster. And with the connections that I have and also the nerve that I have, I am able to get interviews with these types of individuals. They've all committed to having interviews on the GiveTeens20 website. We currently have an interview with the Raiders public address announcer. We have an interview with a restaurant owner, with the CEO and entrepreneur, a man who started his own company, etc. So that is one of the resources that is available to teens and young adults on the website that they can just be able to click around and watch a video of somebody in that job.
I think it's a great resource. And if any of our listeners have some ideas or want to volunteer their own video of their job or what they're doing, they should get in touch with Kathy through her website. And the website is GiveTeens20, which is the number 20.org. If anyone wants to follow along on the website. So what else is available on the website, or what other kind of features would you want to share with our audience?
The presentation that I give in high schools, there are segments of the presentation on the website under the Life Lessons link. And these are such things, just kind of random things. I mean, it's interview role playing, which is going to be very important. As a matter of fact, in the high school presentation, we do some interview role playing, and a lot of the students are amazed at the depth of some of the questions that they're going to need to be prepared to answer. So there will be interview role playing on the website. There are also, as I said, some random subjects like how to get your boyfriend's or girlfriend's mom to like you, and don't put your life on hold for a relationship. And there are things like etiquette. For instance, some of the students that I'm speaking to will be invited to the White House for dinner. And if they know what to do, if they've got the confidence that they have their manners down of what is expected within that environment, they will have fun. If they do not have the confidence and they're doubting themselves, they will not enjoy themselves. So there is a manners and etiquette link on the website just to sanity check what these students already know and to give them the confidence going forward that they know how to operate within a professional and a social environment.
One of the other things that you mentioned to me when we were talking earlier this week was figuring out the non-negotiables or not negotiables. And I think the concept is, I'd like you to share it with everyone because I think it's important for all of us. But I think very often our young adults just aren't even sure if there is anything that they shouldn't do, or what does that mean to be not negotiable?
Well, non-negotiables is a term that I coined based upon the fact that we all need to be aware of the things that we are not willing to live with and the things that we are not willing to live without. We have non-negotiables in our personal lives and in our professional lives. And I'll just give you a couple of mine. My personal non-negotiables is that I would not be involved in a relationship with a smoker. I would also not be involved in a relationship with someone who was allergic to cats, because I have decided that I like cats and I'm going to have a cat, hopefully, the rest of my life. And if someone's allergic to cats, that is going to kind of cut into that priority that I have. Also, I have a work non-negotiable, and that is that I cannot work in a job where I can't talk. I cannot work in a job where I have to be in the same place for 8 hours a day. Now, there are other people out there who have a non-negotiable where they have to be in the same place 8 hours a day looking at a computer screen because this is what they are cut out to do. We each have our own individual non-negotiables. If we all had the same one, the world would be a very boring place. So take the time to do the assessment, to say, okay, what am I not willing to live with and what am I not willing to live without in both a personal and a professional environment?
And so you advise all people or these young adults to kind of have that list together before they or as part of their guide to say, hey, what path am I going to take?
It really helps when they're taking a look at a future career, because if you know, for instance, one of my son's friends said that he wanted to be an engineer. And I said, oh, that's fantastic. You must love math. He said, no, I hate math, but I just want to make a lot of money. And so basically, it's not going to be a fit for him. He may make a lot of money, but he's going to be miserable going to work every day. And my goal for these people is to love what you do and go in with absolute joy facing the day.
Hey, Kathy, can you talk a little bit about just maybe about 30 seconds, give us an overview of, I guess, where students should go and how they can get started to use your resources?
Well, obviously go to GiveTeens20.org and Get Started link is very, very helpful. There are 3 steps. Start out with the assessment and then move into research and then go into more research, basically internal self-assessment. It's the non-negotiables. And then there are other different areas. You can click around and go onto the life lessons, read a couple of blog posts. You can read Money for College, which is a wonderful, wonderful asset that the GiveTeens20 website offers. and the videos. We do currently have videos online. This is a startup organization, and so we are currently hosting very few videos, but we are moving forward and will continue to film and post them on the website. If you'd like to like us on our Facebook page, we have the GiveTeens20 Facebook page, which will let you know new interviews as they are put onto the website.
Well, Kathy, thanks so much for creating GiveTeen20s and sharing the resources available with our audience today.
Thank you very much.
The GiveTeens20 website is at giveteens20.org, and you can also find a link at our collegesmartradio.com website under resources and links. Well, that wraps up another weekly show of College Smart Radio. We hope you picked up some new information today that helps you figure out ways to manage the runaway costs of college. You can hear us each week here on KDOW 1220 AM, Saturdays at 3 p.m. We promise to bring you up-to-date information from the front lines of helping parents deal with the most expensive years of their lives. For a link to a podcast of this show and our prior weekly shows, go to our website, www.collegesmartradio.com. In addition to the podcast, you'll also find a schedule of our upcoming shows. Plan to join us at one of our upcoming West-Face College Planning workshops or webinars. You can reserve a seat at a workshop, either live or via webinar, from the show's website, www.collegesmartradio.com. This is Beatrice Schultz. Thanks for tuning into College Smart Radio. We look forward to sharing more helpful information next week.
You've been listening to College Smart Radio with certified financial planner Beatrice Schultz. If you have questions on today's topic, log on to collegesmartradio.com or call area code 650-587-1559. That's 650-587-1559. Join us next week at this time for another edition of College Smart Radio on AM 1220 KDOW.